Ah, the Splatlands. A symbol of chaos and moving forward to embrace new ideas, crushing our competition out in the wastelands of Scorched Gorge or the suburban alleyways of Eeltail Alley. However, even with all of the new additions the third game has brought us, there will forever be one thing we will forever hang on to. The Roller. This weapon is a staple of the Splatoon franchise, being in the first game's reveal trailer and even being considered OP at the game's launch. Even at launch, it had a second variant locked behind a hidden item in story mode called a Dynamo roller. In the second game, the roller class received a new attack method where players jump up and fling their roller vertically. Due to this brilliant new attack, the devs added a new roller that's dedicated to being really good at that. It's also made of foil. In Splatoon 3, they added a big middle finger to all roller players by creating the Big Swig roller. Clearly, the rollers are beloved by the developers and the community. In fact, it's even beloved outside the Splatoon community. Here, let me show you. So, what's your opinion on rollers?
I don't know what a roller is.
Rollers?
Yes.
Oh, I love rollers, me personally. I find them quite useful because I hate aiming on a Switch on the little Joy-Cons, you know? And the rollers just like make it a nice workaround.
Rollers?
Yes.
Oh, it's Splatoon, okay. From what I've seen, they look pretty cool. Like, I feel like they would have like an interesting, like, play style from the rest of the weapons.
What is there to say about them? They're hot. Not the people who play them, just the rollers themselves. Hot. Slow down there, bud.
They're fun. I prefer the carbon roller, but I think they're decently balanced. They fill both a really good support role and attacking role. I think they're fairly balanced in most of the time.
You see, like, rollers, like, they have like a certain like stigma around them. Like whenever they roll, they make like a weird, like, awkward, like, roach cricket walking sound, and it's very uncomfortable. So whenever, like, I get around a roller or I see one within like 5 miles of my vicinity, I like grab a random like flavor packet from a ramen noodle thing that I got, like probably expired, but you know. And I cook it like it's crawfish, right?
What are you talking about?
I think that rollers were pretty good in Splatoon 1. Like, they were pretty OP. And then by the time, like, Splatoon 2 and especially Splatoon 3 came out, I think, like, they got very downgraded. And Big Swig sucks.
Rollers?
Yes. So, why not make a tribute to such an amazing class by making this video, and not just because I made a promise all the way back in May that I would make this video. So, what is it that I'm gonna do exactly? Simple. Showcase all the 5 different rollers in each of the different game modes. So, why don't we begin with the... The vanilla roller is the one you can never go wrong with. It's the headliner of the whole class, so obviously we gotta start with this one. The base roller in Splatoon 3 has the curling bomb as its sub-weapon and the big bubbler as its special. Up close, the horizontal flick does 150 damage if the roller makes contact with the opponent. If you aren't as close to your opponent, you can still damage them by the ink that you fling when swinging the roller. The damage that stray ink does varies depending on your distance to your opponent. It can also depend on what section of the ink hits the opponent. Ink that comes from the middle of the roller carries the most damage, and the farther away you get from the middle, the less damage it does. In order to roll while walking, you want to hold down ZR, and you'll start off with a horizontal fling, then slam the roller onto the ground while holding it there. Now you can freely move around and crush anyone standing in your way by dealing 125 damage and gaining a slight speed up while leaving a trail of your own ink behind you so you can safely roll. However, doing this drains your ink by 6% every second, so you'll want to manage it well. The vertical flick is also another useful function the roller has. Up close, it does the same damage as the horizontal flick, the max being 150, but has a bit more stray ink flying off of it when you swing. The stray ink's damage also varies depending on the distance from the opponent. The only way to perform the vertical swing is to jump and then press ZR to swing. So you're probably thinking, what's the point of the vertical swing? Its hitbox is smaller and you can only do it in the air. Well, it's simple really. Each swing has its own advantages and disadvantages. The horizontal swing has a larger hitbox and spreads the ink in a wider range, while the vertical swing has a skinnier hitbox and ink output, but longer range compared to the horizontal swing. Horizontal swings can be used for attacking people up close or multiple enemies, while the vertical swing can be used to attack enemies who aren't as close to you. Using both swings is practically essential to using this weapon. Now, let's talk about the kit a bit. With a curling bomb, you can create a line of ink you can swim through to surprise your enemies. However, that can be predictable, so you can also fake out enemies by throwing the bomb and not following it. That way the enemies might think you're in the trail of ink when in reality, you're behind them. However, you can also hold the curling bomb to determine how long it will go for. You could follow its trail and hop out of the ink when it explodes, or simply try to kill someone with it. Now, Big Bubbler is all about your position. It can shield a big area for about 12 seconds, so you'll have to consider how you want to use it. You can go on the offensive and shield yourself in an area near the enemy team and try to take them on, but that can be pretty selfish, even if your team joins the fight. You can also go on the defensive and protect your team or the objective from enemy fire. If an enemy walks towards it, you can attack them from within the bubble, but be wary because they can enter the shield and easily kill you, but you're a roller, so you could just crush them. Also be wary that the shield can be broken when shot at, especially if the enemy team focuses on its weak point at the top. Whatever way you choose to use it, anyone on your team can jump to its beacon inside the bubble. So, now that you know all about the roller, it's time we begin. Welcome back to our first or second tower control game, depending on how I formatted this, where we're on Brinewater Springs, and, dear God, stay salty, I might as well. And we synchronize Booyah. That's how you know we're gonna win. What? My roller touched them. What the heck? And they're spamming Big Bubbler. No. Stop spamming Bubbler! God, I hate that special. It has too much HP. Oh well. Not much of a strong start, I guess, but we'll see how things go. My God. Remember to always use the tower control pole as a, you know, not dying mechanism. What? I'm out of here. I'm gonna get away. Sorry, guys. Nice try, bub. Haha, got you there. Got him. Don't mind if I wait, you know? Sneak attack. That didn't go well. I'm out of ink! Die! No! I can't do anything. I was out of ink. They're gonna flank. We won! Come here. Let's go! And booyah. That was... Why did you have to do this, Ephraim? You have to dab. That was Roller with tower control. As you can see, this weapon is very powerful and has a lot of uses. But now, I think it's time we move on to our next roller. The Dynamo roller is one tough piece of metal that's to strike fear into anyone's heart. It's a heavyweight weapon, so its attacks pack a punch, and that's what mainly makes it unique. The Dynamo roller's special characteristics are its stronger swings and higher pain output compared to every other roller. Of course, with such a heavy weapon, its actual rolling capabilities are very lacking. You will go way slower if you try to roll around, as your movement speed will be slower than when you're walking normally. Even when you start dashing when rolling, you are still quite slow, just barely being faster than your normal walking speed. Other than all of that, the Dynamo roller shares the same attacks as the base roller. Horizontal swing deals 180 damage, with stray ink varying based on distance. The vertical swing also deals 180 with stray ink going farther than the horizontals, but still has its damage affected by distance. Rolling over another player deals 125 damage, but you should really only use this as a true last resort. The stray ink released from both swings is a lot more than any other roller, so you'll want to use that to your advantage. However, you'll also want to be careful when it comes to swinging, since it can use up a lot of your ink tank. So, now that we have the basics, let's talk about the kit. The Dynamo roller in Splatoon 3 has the Sprinkler as its sub-weapon and the Tacticooler as its special. The Sprinkler has very few uses on the Dynamo roller, but that can be argued to be the Sprinkler's fault due to its strange properties. Either way, it still has its uses. When you're in a tough spot and need a quick way to paint your feet, you can throw down a Sprinkler which will automatically paint wherever it lands. This can help you make an escape. You can also use it as a foot shield. When you place a Sprinkler in front of you, it will provide cover for the lower part of your body, which can be helpful depending on who and how you're fighting. Now, the Tacticooler is something you can never go wrong with. Unless you deploy in a bad spot, but that's on you. The Tacticooler lets you throw down a cool little mini fridge that dispenses drinks for you and your team. Okay, quick side note, but I love this special so much due to how cool I think it is. That's adorable. I love this. These drinks will give you buffs that last 15 seconds. The buffs being your swim and run speed, intensify action, which basically makes the squid surge and roll faster, a faster super jump, a faster respawn, your special charge will be saved, and some resistance to enemy ink. The only downside to these features is that you have a visual effect around you the whole time while the buffs are active, which makes hiding an ink not a good idea. The best way to use this special is to throw it somewhere accessible and where your team has control, so that way everybody can grab a drink. Well, there you have it, the Dynamo roller and its kit. So I think it's time we begin a match. Welcome to our second game of Splat Zones in Museum de Afonso. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that terribly, but hey, this map is from Splatoon 1. Hello. So we get ready to go, and booyah! I was a little late, but hey, whole team's on the board, we got this. So the very strange thing about this map is that it's kind of hard to approach with a Dynamo roller, from my experience, but hey, I'm not the best player. But hey, I got control of mid, I think I can do good from up here. And now I'm getting torpedoed though, I'm not sure. Ow. Yeah, they've got 2 custom juniors, that's a terrible thing. We're good. We got this. I ran out of ink. Oh no. Just wait and... How did I miss you? You cannot survive. Bada boom. Hi! How are y'all not dead? Oh my god! Ay caramba, that was not good. Maybe I should work on my ambushes. Oh god. Oh! They have a lot of wave break. I think they all have wave breakers or special. Wow. Taunt this guy a little bit. I don't want to taunt that guy anymore. I'm scared. Oh, maybe. Another tactical. Good luck. I got torpedoed. Oh, there's some dude right there. Hi. Come down. I'm out of ink. There's so many wave breakers. That's not nice. We are not doing too well, but I feel like we got this. We just gotta keep trying. We'll get there. Nope.
I'm running circles around you.
Please stop. Thank you. Okay, that was a surprise. And hey, we're in the lead now. We can just keep going. We got this in the bag. And that torpedo blocked that shot. Squid Game, how could you do this to us? Nobody sees me just yet. Just gotta wait. Hi. I missed. I missed again. I kept missing. So yeah, I'm not too sure about this one anymore. It's like really fun to play, but like also I wish the torpedo spam would stop. Hey, there we go. Somebody's around here. Oh, there they are. Die. How are you not dead? Perish. Darkness. Couldn't see. Hello. Perish. Oh, and their friend joined right there. But hey, we got this in the bag. Another victory for the Rollers. Now that was a game. That was certainly something, but it's time we ditch this Dynamo for the... Since the Dynamo roller was so heavy, it's only natural that the next roller will be very light. This weapon possesses the unique ability to strike incredibly quickly. Its horizontal and vertical swings both finish in under a quarter of a second. It's the fastest roller out of all the rollers, and due to how light it is, rolling with it gives you an almost immediate speed boost. However, the downside to this speed is that you can't crush anyone while rolling, which is a first. In general, this roller is a lot weaker than most of the other rollers, especially when it comes to fighting from a distance. However, this weapon really shines at close range, so if you're looking for a fast way to kill or just to be a little sneaky, then this roller is for you. Other than all of that and its speed, the roller functions the exact same as they all do. The horizontal swing deals 100 damage at close range, but only if the roller makes contact with the enemy. Any stray ink that hits the opponent will be an insta-kill regardless of how close you are. Even then, the stray ink loses its damage depending on your distance to your opponent. The vertical swing actually does more damage than the horizontal, dealing 120. Rolling over another player deals 70 damage and has knockback. This roller uses up the least amount of ink, letting you attack multiple times, which can be very helpful if you can't kill someone with your first swing. Now that we got all of that over with, it's kit time. In Splatoon 3, the Carbon Roller is the only roller to have two variants as of the 2022 chill season. The vanilla Carbon Roller has Auto Bomb as its sub-weapon and Zipcaster as its special. The Carbon Roller Deco has the Burst Bomb as its sub-weapon and the Trizooka as its special. Let's start with the first kit. The Auto Bomb is a pretty useful sub-weapon, but doesn't really work well with the Carbon Roller's fast-paced playstyle. Either way, all you have to do is throw it down and see if it detects any opponents. If it does, it'll chase after them until an opponent gets too close to it. Then it will explode. It's a pretty useful bomb for whenever you're trying to see if someone is hiding in a spot or just trying to pressure them. Zipcaster is a pretty neat special, but putting it on Carbon seems a little weird. The best way to use the special with a Carbon is to try and get as close as possible to your opponent and try to hit them. It may be a bit hard to get an insta-kill since enemy players can see where you're going to land, but it's not impossible. You can also try to damage the opponent with the Zipcaster's arm and finish them off with your roller. In reality, it's up to you on how you want to approach this. Now, time for the second kit. The Burst Bomb is a great fit for the Carbon Roller. Burst Bombs don't use a lot of ink, which lets you throw 2 of them before running out of the required ink for them. The Burst Bomb does 35 damage whenever it hits the ground near an opponent. Throwing 2 of these at once and rushing into attack with your roller makes for a great combo. However, if you directly hit your opponent with it, it'll do 60 damage. If you manage to get a direct hit, it will be even easier to combo with the roller. Though, if you are skilled enough, you could throw 2 Burst Bombs and have them both hit directly and kill the opponent. But this is a roller video, so use your roller. Since these are bombs that burst, you can also use these to help yourself whenever you're stuck in a pinch. The area around where the bomb lands will be covered in your ink, which can help you move out of an area quickly if you ever need to. They can also be used to finish off an opponent at low health, so always keep that in mind. Run. The Trizooka is a bazooka that will shoot out 3 spiraling balls of explosive ink. It's a terrifying weapon that the Carbon Roller has, and it scares me. The best way to use a Trizooka is to first know your surroundings. It's not a very good panic special, so avoid using it in that scenario. If you find yourself in a position where you've got distance between you and your opponents, then let her rip. This weapon is only limited to 3 shots, so you'll want to use those wisely. A neat thing about the Trizooka is that the shots travel in an arc pattern. That might take some getting used to, but once you learn how to use it, it'll be a real game changer, as it can fly over some walls and hit the ground behind it. So that's all we've got for the Carbon Rollers. I'm going to be using the Deco variant because I suck with Zipcaster. Without further ado... Hello everyone and welcome to Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway, where we'll be playing with, The Godfather, and people who are probably collaborating with each other. This is gonna go really well. Either way, we're getting ready, and we say booyah. No one else said booyah. This map is so weird on Rainmaker, but it's like really fun too, so... Why weren't y'all helping me? Probably shouldn't have moved forward. I love making the roller video and showcasing different rollers and just playing as the Rainmaker. Ha! Still gotcha! We're at such a disadvantage because I guarantee you all of these people are a part of like a group or something that play together. Too busy trying to kill that one dude that we just completely forgot about the Rainmaker. Better watch the plants. Get him! Oh, don't get him. Peekaboo! Got trick spotted. Take a shortcut over here. Or not. Get surrounded by burst bombs. That was fun. Now, what's the Rainmaker doing over here? Oh, you almost had it. I'm gonna die. Oh, shite. Bro, oh god! No, no, no! Stay away. Oh, shit. He was ready. Please no. Peekaboo. Honest confession, I have never played Carbon before this video. In 3. I only played it in 2, and it was not very good. Die! I guess I'm on Rainmaker duty. Oh, shoot. Nope, I thought I could squeeze through. It wasn't even the Booyah Bomb that killed me, that's strange. Honest to God, I thought I was gonna kill him. Ah, still got you. It counts. I think we're going for the flank over here. Get him, Stamp! Hey! I don't know where that, oh, they're over there now. What are they doing? Oh. No more. How did I not see that? Too focused on the, zip caster. Someone else grab Rainmaker? Please? Thank you! Alright. Nope, don't go back. I'm not sure what to do here. I'll just protect Rainmaker for right now, because they're not, like, they're not trying to push for some reason. Oh, shoot. Die! Dude, the hitbox on the crab is so weird. Hey! And that's a wrap. That was amazing. All you Carbon players out there, I salute you. Either way, that leaves us with one more mode. The one everyone fears. But don't worry, we'll be using the roller that everyone fears because of its special. The... So, we've had both heavy, light, and all-around rollers, so now what? Long-range roller! That's right, we got ourselves the Flingza roller. The cool thing about this roller is that it's actually based off of a fountain pen. Other than that, it has no special gimmick. Just kidding. The actual gimmick of this roller is its long-range vertical swing. It does have the same range as the Dynamo's vertical swing and less damage compared to it, but as a trade-off, you aren't as slow. For everything else though, it's relatively the same speed and stat-wise as a normal splat roller, so yeah, it's really up to your speed preferences when choosing this weapon. Well, that, or the kit, but that's for later. Other than the long range and the default speed advantage, it remains very similar to all the other rollers. The horizontal swing deals 150 damage upon impact, with the straight ink damage depending on distance. The vertical swing also deals 150 damage with the straight ink depending on distance. Rolling over someone does not deal 150 damage, but instead 125. The best way to use this weapon is to really focus on its increased range with the vertical swing. It may not carry the same amount of damage the Dynamo has, but the speed and lower ink consumption can help you get more attacks in. Once again, it's entirely up to your preference. Now it's time we discuss the kit. In Splatoon 3, the Flingza roller has the ink mine as its sub-weapon and the... Oh dear god. Tenta missiles. Well, we still have time until we touch that, so let's talk about the sub-weapon. Please. The ink mine is one of those special sub-weapons that mainly serves a defensive purpose. Even in that niche though, it still ends up being last. Instead of throwing out an actual object like you usually would with the sub-weapon, you simply lay down the mine. It will be marked with a bubble icon showing where the middle is that will stay on your screen at all times, and an outline displaying its range. If an opponent happens to step foot into the ink mine's radius, it will give a sound cue before detonating shortly after. This explosion will mark the opponent, giving them the echolocator effect, release a pool of ink, and dealing a 45 damage if the person was standing directly in the mine's radius. If they were simply fairly close to it, then they'll just take 35 damage. However, that's not the only way you can trigger the mine. If the center of it happens to get inked by an enemy, it will explode, leading to nothing really happening. This sub can be used in any way you want. It can be placed at strategic points that lead into your spawn or area you don't want opponents getting into, or simply make people who are following you mad. You can have up to 2 active at a time, so the choice is yours. The damage it deals can also be a good way to quickly get a kill in with your roller if you happen to be close enough. Well, we've avoided it for long enough, but we just can't escape it anymore. Tenta missiles are a weapon that everyone will probably hate you for using. It lets you see every single opponent on the map and launch targeted missiles at them if you lock onto someone. Each person will have at least 5 missiles tracking them. If a missile makes a direct hit onto someone, it will kill them instantly. If a missile happens to not directly hit but instead close to an opponent, it will deal 30 damage. And with 5 high-speed missiles coming at them in rapid succession, it will definitely hurt and or even kill them. This special can be used to force opponents to move out of their positions, which can be useful for displacing teams that are in defensive positions, or if you just want to be an app. Another good use for them is to be able to scout out the enemies. Whenever you lock onto someone, a marker will be placed over them until all the missiles have landed. This can allow you to run at enemies who are near you and make their games worse, since you using Tenta missiles wasn't bad enough. If you want to be a horrible person, you can just sit back and avoid fighting entirely and just spam Tenta missiles by inking every possible spot on the ground. People will hate you for it, but it's a thing you can do. My apologies for the strong wording used in this section, but I kinda have a negative opinion on these things.
Familiar special weapons like
No!
the Tenta missiles,
No! Not Tenta
Ink
missiles!
Storm.
Now that we've run through this roller's long-reaching capabilities, it's time we show our skills in a game. So, let's begin. Hello everybody and welcome to Clam Blitz on Mincemeat Metalworks, where we'll be playing with none other than Hockey and Squid Party. And on the other team, Boy Kisser. I swear I've played with this guy before. But let's get ready and go. And always start off with the Booyah. And I kinda don't like this map on Clam Blitz. I mean, it's fine, but like, I don't know. It's just not always good for me. But oh, that's another Flingza, hello. Boy Kisser is using a Flingza. That was not a Flingza that killed me. What is everybody just doing? Not at... Why are they still at base? Oh my god. Yeah, I wouldn't say we're not doing too good. Hey, Karunda, hi. Get Tenta missiled. Lols. I don't like having this. Oh, torpedoed. Oh, hi. Get away. Put a mine right here to make sure nobody can get past. Launch some Tenta missiles to annoy the enemy. Sneaky little Flingza. He's gonna see me. Hi! Who's gonna win? Not me. I'm out of here. Yeah, he wants me dead. And a blaster, though. He saw me. He's gonna see me. He's gonna see me. I'm out of here. Bye. Get away from me. Oh shoot. Launch some pentas. Make people mad. Maybe get some kills. I'm not sure. Nice try. Or, actually, yeah. Nice try. You killed me. You know what? I'm gonna be annoying and farm Penta right now. Oh, hi! Oh, let's go, we're winning now. Interesting turn of events. Oh! Dude, right there. I got him. That Autobomb's gonna get me, though. Or not. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, now we just gotta be pretty good on defense, which I'm not sure if we can do when there's a Flingza on the way. Wipeout! Now that's what I call a good game, even though I'm pretty sure I got a pretty bad KD ratio. We won. Yeah, I didn't do too good. Number 1 ground traveler. They just had to give me something. Oh well. Yeah, not a very good KD. Oh, look at that. I'm also LVP. Well, that's what you get when you play Flingza for the first time and not know how to use it properly. But, don't... Where did everyone go? Well, now that we've got all the ranked modes out the way, it's time we enter casual territory with Notorious. For every roller, I've tried to do some little introduction to it, like talking about its weight or its length, but I just can't for this one. In fact, the powers that be didn't want me to talk about this roller, so they decided I should break my femur. Yeah, it's got a funny little cup with a straw that acts as the ink source for the roller, but the weapon is just terrible. Its main gimmick is spreading lots of ink, like the Dynamo roller. But wait, it has a high speed compared to the Dynamo, just like how the Flingza has with its vertical fling. So, what does this roller have? I mean, it can output tons of ink like a Dynamo at a normal pace, so that's good, right? Well, it's extremely weak, but there is one unique thing about it. This roller creates a wider path when rolling on the ground. That's cool, right? Well, only if you're inking turf, because the rolling also does weak damage. So yeah, this roller sucks, and I've neglected to talk about its exact damage, so here we go. The horizontal swing deals 70 damage upon contact, with stray ink damage depending on your distance, not even an insta-kill. On the other hand, the vertical swing does 120 damage. You don't have to make contact with your roller to the opponent to kill them, since the lethal range is a little long. Rolling over someone deals 70 damage. Yep, that's right, the main gimmick of this roller has the same strength as the Carbon's roll. If you ever want to use this roller, please just use a different one. It's kit time, I guess. Since Splatoon 3 introduced this weapon, it only has one kit, and even then the devs still mess this one up. The Big Swig has the ink wall as its sub-weapon and the ink vac as its special. Okay, so with ink wall, you might as well just give up. The main purpose of the sub is to have a small wall between you and your opponent. The opponent can't walk or shoot through it, and they can only damage it if they shoot it. If they try to walk through it, it'll deal 30 damage and knock them back. You can shoot through this wall as well, which would be helpful if you weren't a roller. So there really is no good way to use this sub in conjunction with the Big Swig. You're better off just throwing it and letting your team use it. Now, Ink Vac works on this weapon purely because it's just a good special on its own. The Ink Vac allows you to suck up any incoming enemy ink while holding down ZR. This includes any weapons firing ink, sub-weapons, and even some specials. Anyone caught in the vacuum suction will be slowed down and put under a toxic mist-like effect, making it harder to escape. Once a certain amount of time has passed, or you've reached the max amount of ink you can suck up, you'll be given the option to release a powerful blast. This blast will start out as a projectile that can kill anyone that crosses paths with it. Whenever the projectile hits a surface, it will explode while leaving behind a pool of ink. This explosion can change in size depending on how much ink you sucked up. This special is incredibly useful for protecting teammates and objectives while offering a counter. It can also be good for halting an enemy advance or helping advance your own team's push by blocking out all damage. However, you are playing with the Big Swig, so you might as well just give up. So, now that we've done all of that mediocre mumbling, let's get into a match and just get this weapon over with. Hello everyone and welcome to Turf War on Hammerhead Bridge, a map from the first game where we'll be playing with Tofi Cat. Okay then. And... Dynamo. Word. Get ready to go and booyah when we hit the ground. So, a little known fact about this roller, it kinda sucks. I'm not gonna say it in the demonstration, I'm just gonna heavily imply it. So I might as well say it here, because we're all being honest with each other, right? Come here. Come here. Shoot me! Please! Fine then. Feel like that. Make me waste my special. I honestly find Ink Vac, like, really fun. I wish they put it on more weapons! He was ready. That man knows how to use a carbon roller. Turf Wars are not my thing at all because I just much prefer the high-paced battles in ranked. High-paced, I meant fast-paced, but you get what I mean. Like, there definitely can be, like, fast-paced battles in... Well, I'm certainly not enjoying using this weapon still. And there can be fast-paced turf war battles, just a lot of the time there isn't. And plus, I'm using Big Swig. How can I have fun? Like, come on! There's no way I can defend myself against attacks like that, because I just don't do enough damage. Come on. Come on, guys. Oh, shoot! My god. I hate this weapon. I am never going to touch this ever again after this video. Unless they buff it. But still. I might just include this game just to show how bad this weapon is. Like, a pretty bad defeat. Like, look at that! My god. I don't want to 100% blame Big Swig, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that, Big Swig didn't play a part in this losing. Like, look at that. 2 kills, 5 deaths? That's terrible. So, now that you've been exposed to the glory that is the roller superiority and even its darkest corners, you can now see why this weapon class has been kicking ever since it was introduced. It's just because of how well it's designed. The ability to get up close and crush your opponents when they least expect it in whatever way suits your playstyle, or simply how fast you want to run while leaving behind a mess, is just something Splatoon has only been able to offer. Splatoon has always had a variety of weapons, and the rollers will always be a big example of that. People are used to seeing shooters and snipers in games, so they expect Splatoon to be the same, just with ink. But rollers are so different from those that it instantly creates a fresh new way to play the game. In conclusion, I hope this experience has been eye-opening to you, and if it wasn't, I hope it at least taught you to hate Tentamissiles and anyone who uses them. No! Not Tentamissiles!
Big storm.